welcome to Talk Rice to Me. My name is Jesse.
I'm Jay.
Well, me and my brother just recently got back from a 2 week hiatus in Asia. My brother,
I was in Japan, then met him up in Korea.
yes, you were in Japan for how many days?
4 days from October 29th to November 3rd. There's a whole ordeal with that, but
And I was in Korea for, let's see, basically 2 weeks. We'll say
Basically
2
2
weeks, 14 days, 13, 14, I don't know, whatever. Before we start, I want you to give me a comparison, Japan and Korea.
oh. See, it's tough. I would say it's kind of tough because I only in Tokyo for 4 days. So I just want to preface it with that. I was only in Tokyo for 4 days and for Halloween, basically. So I'm gonna put that in there. But what if I want to put a general basis? Japanese food. I just want to say this: we were wrong. Well, maybe I was wrong. I don't know if I've said it in the past, but Japanese food is elite in Japan. In Japan, everywhere else, it's like it's Japanese food, but in Japan, it's like god tier. It's amazing. Like the stuff they just do with rice bowls is insane. But the food in Japan was crazily good compared to Korea. I'm not saying Korean food was bad. I just like Japanese food more. The fashion is different, but both countries know how to dress well. The partying, I gotta give it to Korea. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. They go hard. They go hard. But I can get into that a little bit later. And then, but I guess the last part will be, I guess for guys, they care about the women. They're beautiful women everywhere. I just want to say it like that. Beautiful women are in both countries. So if you're picking off that, just flip a coin.
What sets Japanese food as elite in Japan? Like, what was it specific that made it elite? Because Japanese food in general, I think is top tier.
Yeah, and then I will say this before in my food rankings, I don't think Japanese food was ever like in my top three. I would always say like Thai, Chinese, and then maybe like Korean or Italian. I like Italian or Greek food would be like my third interchangeable. But oh my, like goodness, like there was these, they have like what are they called? Rice bowls. Jesse knows me. I don't eat rice like that. I don't eat rice bowls like that. I had 3 rice bowls that changed my life. There's one place called Sujihan Zuko, something like that. And they only sell one thing. It's a pork cutlet with rice and eggs. Fire. Like, it's amazing. You get to line up for it, which was a normality in Japan. And then we got like a steak bowl. I don't shut up ever. And I ate it. Didn't say a peep. It was just, and it also got sujahan, which is like a seafood rice bowl. But to get back to what Jesse said about what makes it so good, I don't know if I can put a finger on it. It just feels like nothing is out of balance. Like the least good thing I had, or like the least tantalizing thing I had, was something that was really hyped up on TikTok. And it was good, but compared to everything else, it wasn't as good. It was like a udon carbonara from Menchirashi, and it was just a little salty. But everything else was like amazing. Jesse in the past is they only give you 1 egg in ramen place. I went to a ramen place, they gave me a whole egg. They gave me a whole egg. It's okay. And I think it's because it tastes so good because you get something that's worth, you would think like $20 in the States, $25 in the States for like $12. Like we got like a seafood omakase kind of thing, and it was like $30. It was amazing. And I think that cost in your head to what you're tasting is what makes it taste more good in your head, because you can't help it. So like the cost to taste ratio is just elite. But the wait time to taste ratio is not the best, if you know what I mean. Like in Japan, if you go to Japan, you are waiting in line.
How long?
So the Zuiko place I went to, I showed up 25 minutes early, and there was 10 people in front of me.
Okay.
So if you show up other times, it's an hour wait. Most places, it's an hour wait. The Menchirashi place showed up 15 minutes before opening time, hour and 30 wait. The beef bowl place we went to, hour wait. The rice bowl seafood was called Sujahan. That place, 40-minute wait. It's just, you're going to wait.
Okay.
It's just how it is.
does Japan have like reservation apps where you can reserve your spot and then go and like you know what I'm talking about, like
Yes.
reserve your spot ahead of time, and then that way your travel time there kind of kills your wait time.
Yes. To a degree, I would. They do have it, but it's through an app called Tabalog, and then it's another app. I never used it because the person I was traveling with, we were kind of off the cuff. We were just kind of freeballing it. But if you were more set in stone, I would say you definitely could. But to be honest, I think that here's my food tip in Japan. Have an idea what you want and maybe have locations or restaurants you want to go to, but don't be married to a restaurant because most things are really good. If you just go and check the rating on Tabalog compared it to Google, whatever, it's fire. So yeah, based off those two, yeah. But yes, there is a table booking site. And yeah, there's pretty accurate.
Okay. Since we're basically talking about food. All right.
Yeah, we're yapping about food.
Let's go into it. Okay. So after going to Japan, after going to Korea, which one did you prefer?
I think I prefer Japan because they're more umami.
Okay.
They use more umami or their foods have more umami versus in Korea, it's more like spicy, sweet, and there's like those different combinations versus in Japan, it's just like savory, super savory, and I like savory, so I think that's the preference.
I think that I actually saw a TikTok where a girl, because like when you're geographically located in some person, they push TikTok and IG will push content to you from creators in that area or something associated with that. And it was so funny when we were in there, I saw, you know, like late night when I'm about to pass out, like TikTok, people were talking about like, dude, I came to Korea and everything here is so sweet. I'm like, so sweet. But I understand why that person had that take. Everything in there has a little element of sweetness to it. But in my opinion, I didn't think it was that sweet in general. But I agree with you. I think that everything in Korea is a little more on the sweet, salty type of spectrum. I believe. Don't quote me on that. You say everything in Japan was more umami?
Yeah, everything was really, to me, it just tasted more savory. I think it's because when we did the sushi, I'm pretty sure they like, what is the thing? They like wipe soy sauce on top.
Is it sesame oil?
A sesame soy sauce? Because I remember when they gave it to us, they said don't dip it in anything. It's already pre-seasoned with soy sauce and stuff.
Oh, okay.
The beef bowl thing I had and all the rice bowls, everything I had, it was more savory. And I think the rice was so good because it was more umami and the rice just soaked up all that umami. And, you know, I had uni straight off the coast of Japan finally. Uni is a garnish. It is not the main course. I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that?
I think it's a good thing to mix with another flavor to give your mouth some kind of different feel. But just uni with rice, just that two things by itself is not that hyped up. Like it should not be that hyped up. Like you would agree. It's like a mouthfeel thing.
It is. It's a texture thing. But I also feel that when you eat uni, there is a level of I guess a luxury feel to it.
Yeah.
It's because it's like a very exclusive item. When you do have it, you subconsciously kind of put it up on a higher scale because it's more scarce. It's not something you eat on an everyday basis.
That's true.
That's why I've always said that uni was slightly overrated, because I feel that it is for the taste and what you get for it, it doesn't equate the price tag to a degree. Yes, you probably get into the higher degree and a higher, more luxurious stuff like off the coast and stuff like maybe when it's a little more fresher and everything. But me personally, I don't think there's enough flavor to basically justify it being that high.
So if you got it in like a rice bowl, like I did, mixed with other kind of ingredients,
yes,
and even though they put a ton in this bowl,
yeah,
and I would agree, but it was like $20. That's worth it to you.
Correct. Yeah. I think that like if it's reasonably priced and it's complemented well with other flavors and other elements, I think it's good. But if it is the star of the dish, I don't think it is as good as people put it as.
That's
for
true.
me personally.
True.
Okay, I'm not saying that uni is bad. When I say uni is overrated, I'm not saying uni is disgusting or or taste bad or anything. I'm just saying it's overrated in the aspect that people put it higher than what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
I trust me.
You know,
He's not saying it's bad. He's
Yeah.
not saying it's bad, guys. Don't
Yeah.
destroy him.
'Cause-
How can you say such a thing? Like, shh.
Yeah,
He's not
'cause-
saying that.
Yeah, because most of the time when people say it's overrated, you automatically assume saying that, oh, this is buns, this is
Yeah.
crap. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, since we're on the topic of Japanese food, did you get ramen in Japan?
Yes, I did. Like
Please tell me. Please give us the comparison between American ramen and Japanese ramen.
Okay.
And what is your take on ramen?
Okay, so for one, I didn't go to a hyped up ramen spot at all. I went to some random ramen spot in some random place in Shibuya. It had like higher ish ratings on Tabelog. I think over 3.5. If you find anything over a 3.5 or around a 3.5 in Tokyo, it means it's good. It means it's solid enough to eat. And so I got a bowl. It was a Wagyu white truffle ramen bowl for like $10
US dollars?
US dollars.
Okay, $10.
So I guess like 150,000 yen, something like that. But it was like $10. Amazing. Strictly because, like I said, the cost to what you got ratio is obscene. Like, one, you got twice as much like ramen,
Really?
and then you would get at these ramen stores in the States for $20.
Wait. I thought Japanese food tend to have lower amounts, like their serving sizes
Yeah,
are smaller.
yeah.
You're saying there was more ramen?
Yeah, the ramen places that we've gone to or I've gone to that have been really hyped up, I feel like I get like this much, quite literally like 8 ounces. If it's a wet noodle, if it's dry noodles, it's more. It's most of the time it's more, but most places it's like so tiny, and it was great. Like I said, it was Wagyu or Wagyu, whatever you guys want to pronounce it. Don't butcher me. I'm destroying that. And they gave me 2 eggs. Or a full egg. No, I'm sorry, not 2 eggs. They gave me a full egg, and I would just say the flavor was amazing. Was good. It was really really good for what I paid for it, how much I got. The flavor was solid. Like I said, it's a lot more umami, less salty. That's and maybe I'm having what is it called? Like the honeymoon effect, or you're just like, since you're in Japan, you're gassing it up more. I might be doing that, but to me, it's less salty and more umami.
Less salty. Okay.
Because would you say that a lot of stuff they want to amp up the flavor and they just like throw in more salt in it? But I think there was less salt in it, so it just tasted more. I could just taste the things that I wanted to taste more, so it was good.
Okay. 2 things. So if you had that bowl in America, how much would it cost?
Probably $20.
$20.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Imagine like a udon bowl, not udon bowl, a pho bowl. The bowls you get a pho at any pho restaurant. That's how big it was.
Okay.
And I had like 4 slices of Wagyu.
Okay.
So
Now, let's talk about like flavor profile and how flavor hits in Asia compared to the United States, right? So one thing that I know is I didn't go to Japan, guys, so I can't speak about this. Is only strictly about Korean food. I've noticed that Korean food in Korea is so much more lighter, and it passes through and digests so much more easier than Korean food in the States. Yeah, I found that when normally stuff that I would eat here that would put me on my ass for like a couple hours in food coma and everything, made me feel lethargic, didn't have that effect in Korea. For example, I had fried chicken. My last night in Korea, I had fried chicken and I had pizza. When I tell you I had fried chicken and pizza, how do you think I was feeling at the end of the night?
you probably were getting wheeled out on a wheelbarrow.
Like if I was eating that here in the States, right?
Yeah, you would not feel good.
Yeah. So I had fried chicken and pizza. That fried chicken was so soft, so succulent. It was so light. It didn't have that like greasy, like over, like I'm drinking grease, drinking oil. It had that. It was very flavorful, very light. The pizza the same exact way. Yo, pizza in Korea is crack freaking city. Like I'm still thinking about that. It's less doughy. The texture is different in the sense that it was like softer. What's chewier? Chewier is like it's like.
Is that to me? Chew feels like it's more doughy. Like you take more chews, and then some people like crispy because it's like thin.
Okay, so um, I'm trying to think of a analogy. So you know, like when we eat pizza here in the States, it's kind of tough too. Sometimes it's kind of you bite it, it's still good, but it's a little bit more harder to chew.
Yes, it's like crispy. That's how I see it.
Okay, okay.
Like they make the. I think you're saying like the crust is thin, so like the bottom is crispy, and so you have to chew it more. Versus, I guess in Korea maybe it's a little thicker, so it's more mouthfeel. Like you're
It's not necessarily thicker. It's about this. It's about the same,
okay.
but the difference is the texture. I think that. Oh, you know what it is? I think that the dough in Korea kind of like melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
Kind of like just like melts in your mouth. Kind of like I don't know, like regular white bread versus milk bread.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That might be why.
Okay.
Maybe they have milk bread in there.
It's so much more lighter, so much more palatable, so much more easier to eat. When it's like really really like hot out the oven, there some slices it would break before it even like pulled it up. So some people might not like that because it doesn't have like that good undercarriage, but I think that I enjoyed the way that it tastes better. I had two pizzas. One was like a regular one, loved it. I had a second one that was rice based, like a rice based crust.
Yeah.
Looked the same. Oh my god, the taste of like a rice based crust in Korea was absolutely sensational. It's like eating mochi on a pizza. It's not sweet mochi, but like
The texture.
yeah, very neutral tasting mochi dough, and rice based dough, kind of like mochi, has a kind of like that texture, but the taste was very neutral, so it would complement everything very very well. Loved it. I ate 5 slices.
Can I ask you what type of flavor was it? Was it like tteokbokki?
Yes, it was kind of like very kind of tastes kind of like rice, but in a different form. Because
Cool.
so kind of like tteokbokki. It was like I said, it was great. I had 5 slices. I was good in 2 hours.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Actually, no, I have 2 questions. One, did you notice that when you had cheese in Korea, that joint did not screw you up at all? Like
Yes.
I didn't break out, and we was eating
Yeah.
like in the States, you eat one pizza, I'm getting a pimple
Mhm.
or something like that. And I'm the rest of the time, 80% of the time, Jesse and I, we're eating pretty clean.
Mhm.
In Korea, we was not eating clean. We was big back bros, okay?
Yes.
And so we big backing, we drinking every night, and we eating cheese, and Jesse's skin right there. You don't see a single pimple on it right now. But would you agree, like you didn't have any problems?
Yes. I think that there is a large contrast or a stark difference when it comes to dairy in the States versus dairy outside the States, because we went to Europe last year twice. We went to Europe earlier this year, and we went to Europe last fall, so almost exactly a year from now. And I noticed that dairy outside the States, whether it's Europe and in Asia, it doesn't have the type of effect on you in a negative fashion that it does in the States.
That bubble gut?
Yeah, like Jay said, we had whenever I eat pizza or if I eat wings, I love wings, by the way. So I was in heaven when I was eating all that fried chicken. I was you asked my brother, like every time we went to the market, I was grabbing the little cup, the sweet and sour chicken with like on the
honey,
market. Oh, that I had like 4 or 5 cups of that. But going back to the thing we were talking about earlier, so you are right. I feel that in the States, if I eat fried chicken or if I eat pizza, I'm breaking out later on that week.
Yeah. It's a guaranteed.
Yeah, or I'm getting the bubble guts.
Yeah. And then my next question is, this is my kind of devil's advocate thing, is most of the time in the States when you eat something, you're getting in the car immediately and going home. And, you know, you and I, we might go for like a walk right after we eat, like 10 minutes. But in Korea, we is hiking.
Yeah.
So do you think that also might have to do with it not messing you up so much? Because the moment you eat, you were hiking probably a good 10, maybe 20 minutes to do something else. I'm just saying.
I could see some validity to that. But I think that in general, when I was talking about the way that like food hits, when I say it's lighter, I just feel that after like a big meal, like oftentimes I'd be like, oh my God, I'm KO'd. Like I feel like I'm more pass out from all like that. And it's like just sits heavy and you're just uncomfortable, especially after eating a whole pizza and some wings. Like I'm like probably on my ass for like a couple hours here in the States. But but in Korea, like it wasn't. I was good after an hour or two. I was full, but it wasn't that like my body's like weighed down type of
No,
full.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
You know,
I agree.
and it was like that with almost anything we ate in Korea, especially because remember on Monday night when we the second day you got to Seoul,
Yeah.
and then we was my first day in Seoul as well because I went to Busan first. We went to the market, the Myeongdong night market. I love that, by the way.
Fire. Overpriced. Fire.
Yes, overpriced definitely for tourists because like Myeongdong is for tourists apparently. Crazy scene, food everywhere, like whole like carts on carts on carts on carts, like unlimited options, unlimited places. Like I honestly think that the Myeongdong night market is better than the other markets like Gwangjang Market, Namdaemun Market, like stuff like that. I think that there was more variety. There was the food. It varies, you know, it varies depending on what you like and everything. But based off of variation and choices, the Myeongdong night market was better. Price wise, I don't know. I think that they'd be overcharging them on Myeongdong night because they know we tourists. And the scene, the vibes in the Myeongdong market was crazy.
Dopamine.
People everywhere, so much life, so much shops.
Lights everywhere.
Yeah, it was-
Music blasting.
Well, definitely one of my favorite scenes. Definitely one of the best like food trips that we had that night because we had so many stuff that night. We had chicken feet. I know.
I'm about to say, what's your favorite things you had?
We'll run down what we had that night.
Okay.
We had chicken feet,
Fire.
egg bread, skewers. They had like lamb skewers,
Oh, they were pretty good.
and did we have another skewer?
We had a duck skewer.
Oh, duck skewer. That's what it was. What else? Tteokbokki. We had the fish cake skewers. I had tteokbokki. What else do we have?
The pork belly roll
Oh, it's like the kimbap, but they roll it. They roll it with pork belly.
and cheese.
Yeah, sensational.
And this is
sensational.
no special cheese. It's literally a slice of like Kraft cheese they just slap on that joint, and it is fire.
Yeah. What else? What else do we have? We had the fried chicken, the sweet and sour fried chicken, the tteokbokki. I had like 2 cups that night. Actually, I had 2 cups that day. One early in the day at the Gwangjang market, and then I had another cup that night at Myeongdong night market. What else? What else do we have?
That sounds like the majority of the stuff. Like
The steak.
the steak. Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The steak was good.
That's the was it gaibi?
It was maybe it was a gaibi. It was diced up, so I don't think it was gaibi. It was
Yeah.
kind of thick.
Oh, something like that. And what else we had?
I don't remember anything else because I just remember the top 3 in my brain, or 4 in my brain.
We were just going and eating.
Yeah.
I think that was it. I think there's probably 2 or 3 things that we got there as well, but I just don't remember.
I think they were probably like something sweet or something. It might have been something sweet or something like that we kind of passed over.
Yeah. To top 3.
Top 3. You can even have like a tie for 3. 1, 2, 3A, 3B. It doesn't matter, but top 3.
Top 3. The chicken, because like I said, I'm a sucker for fried chicken. What else? Egg bread. Egg bread was crack city. I don't know why. I think it's just so simple. It's like pancake dough with the egg on top. Like it's so simple, but it's so crack. And then what else? Honestly, I think that duck skewer was crack.
Oh my God, that duck skewer.
I will say that's probably like right now that I think about it, top 3, but it's number 4 and 5 are probably like really close. And if I had to choose, I'd probably go for those 3.
Yeah. I think for myself, it's the pork belly roll. Like, I don't know why. It's so good. I was telling Jesse, that pork belly roll to me is like a Korean danger dog. It is so good.
Yeah.
And it's easier to eat than a danger dog. Because you eat a danger dog, that joint's all in your face. Like, if you with a girl, you look ugly. You look sloppy, bro. But this one, they dice up nice and fine. You can chew it. There's little veggies in it, so it's a little crispy. That's fine. That's my number 1. Maybe 1B. I think 1B might be that duck skewer for me. Or like, 2, 1B. That duck skewer is amazing. You're right. I don't know why I don't do that in the States. 3rd for me is just the chicken feet, man. The chicken feet, because what's the worst part about eating chicken feet, Jesse?
People get scared because it looks like claws in your face.
Yes, and then what's another bad part of it? It's just
Texture.
the bones.
The bones, texture. People just don't like it.
People don't like it. Boneless.
torched it, texture, everything, taste, all of it was sensational.
And it was like spicy too. It was magnifique. I would say those three are my top three easily. Yeah, that's hands down to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to say another thing about the night markets is I agree wholeheartedly with what Jesse said. I think if you want traditional, like super traditional Korean food, go to the other night markets, I would say.
I don't know. I think they're all considered like street food, so it's a different type of street food, you know?
Yeah, but what I mean is, at the other night markets that we went to, it was more. Actually, you're right. Each one had different ones, but Myeongdong definitely had more variety.
Definitely have,
Like the one we went to, I forgot which one it was. It felt like they had 4 things, and that's it.
we're talking about the earlier day, Gwangjang
Night Market.
which is like considered the biggest like market in I guess in Seoul or even in Korea, I think. But the options were kind of limited. There's a lot of tteokbokki, a lot of like the mung bean pancakes. There's a lot of other stuff here, but I think we were just too full to actually like
Get anything.
get anything. But like, I just think that the variety is different, but each had its things that were very, very good.
Yeah.
But even then, like I said, we the food was not super heavy. I think the worst night was probably after eating at Myeongdong Night Market because we ate so much. I was like KO'd. That was probably like towards the when it started to teeter down there when I'm like kind of starting like, damn, there's a lot of food. I'm kind of getting food out here, but after a day or two, it was good. We were talking about price earlier, right? It's funny that we say that it was Myeongdong Night Market was so expensive, but if you look at in reality, when you go to like a food festival here in the States, yo, everything you should eat is like $10 minimum.
You're right. Yeah.
So
10 to 15.
10 to 15 just for like a simple. I remember we went to the Asia Festival.
You know what? We can relate it to it with something that everyone knows. Smorgasbord.
Okay, smorgasbord, yes.
Because they have that in New York. They have that in LA.
Yeah.
If you guys in those two, you know what the prices are like.
Yeah, they'd be crazy. And then think about it, even though that we say Myeongdong Night Market is more expensive on the more expensive side, it's still relatively cheap because most things were 10,000 won per one item, which comes out to like I think like $8.
Yep.
Which is still probably like half of what you would pay at a food festival here in America. So is it expensive? I think it's expensive in Korea terms when you take into account the smaller markets and more for locals. But when it comes to America, it's still cheap, like OD cheap. I think just like everything, just food in general in Korea is so cheap. Cause like we were talking about ramen earlier, right? Yo, I had ramen in Korea and it wasn't even from a ramen shop. Okay. We went to down in Busan. If you guys are near Gwanganli Beach, there's this restaurant down there. It's called Ambok. Okay.
Write that down, guys. Write that down.
Ambok. It is on the Michelin guide list for Korea. And when I went there, my expectation was, you know what, this is probably kind of overrated. It's a Michelin guy. It's probably gonna be like too clean or something, or like too fancy, whatever. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I love Tejukupap and I love Gupap, right? That was probably one of the best things I had the entire trip. And it was like I said, I've noticed that this is a side tangent. Things in Korea, and I think this might be in other countries as well. The best restaurants, when they specialize something, they do just that.
Yep.
And then the menus are so simple, like couple items, and like everything is like related to that one item, and they just sell that, and they just do it so freaking well. I went to a couple of Gupap restaurants, and they all just sold that, or like maybe some other variations, and yeah, they did that thing so freaking well. Whereas like in America, you go to one restaurant, they have like 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
So a master of none, but
a jack of all trades, a master of none.
Yeah, but I think that like a lot of these restaurants, they just focus on one little thing. Because whenever we want to go, they specialize in this. We specialize in this. They specialize in this, and I think that just elevates it even more. But going back to this Ambok place, they specialize in Tejukupap, and they're on the Michelin guide. Yo, that thing was absolutely sensational. We were on Naver. Naver is a hack. I love that. Love Naver. Freaking live by that for the whole entire trip. But do you know what Tejukupap is?
I don't. Explain it for the people though.
So Tejukupap is kind of like
say it a little slow. Say one more. What is it again. What is it?
It's Teju Gukbap. I don't-
Teju Gukbap.
I might be saying it wrong because I'm not Korean, but I had it 4 times in Korea. It was so good. Okay, 4 times. Basically, it's kind of like it's like a stew. It comes in a stone pot. Has like a very pork based, very clean type of pork broth. But the thing is, here in the States, sometimes you get that like kind of like gamey, porky smell. And it's kind of like maybe like not seasoned as well. Seasoned good. I've had it a couple times here in the States and I still like it. But there they take it to a whole different level. The broth was so rich, so much depth.
Is that the thing we got at the market that was in the noodle alley?
No, that wasn't. That's
Okay.
kalguksu.
Okay, go ahead. My bad. Continue.
So the broth was so rich, so deep, so clean, not greasy at all. Sometimes you get like pork broth kind of greasy, no grease at all, very clean, like ran like water, right? And then the pork belly melt in your mouth. Understand why it's on the Michelin guide. I don't understand why it's not doesn't have a Michelin star. And while we were there, they had the ramen. They had ramen there, hand pulled ramen, and they had the pork belly that came in the same thing. The broth that came with it, but it's a little bit different, a little bit more, I think, more salty. A little bit has a little bit more savior. Is that right? Savior. Savorier. Sorry, savorier flavor palette to it. The Teju Gukbap is a little bit more on the mild side. You kind of season yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit like not as different type of flavor, but a little cleaner.
So it's like Sulongtang?
Similar.
Okay.
It's very similar. You flavor it yourself, you
Yeah.
know. But for something that so simple, not really simple at all, because the broth was probably stewed for hours and days. It was so deep, and then it just creates so much more depth. One of the best things I had, top 3. Yeah, it had the ramen. Man, that was the best ramen I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Flavor. I know when I say it's like last time I said it's too clean and everything like that. Yo, that was clean, but it had so much depth. Texture was amazing. Great. And guess what? This was a Michelin guide restaurant, and every item was 10,000 won. So it came out, I think we had ordered 1, 2, 3, 5 things. 5 of the Teju Gukbaps, a whole extra platter of the pork belly, and then the ramen, and it came out to like 30 something thousand won. So like $30 for like 5 dishes. Crazy. I mean, I guess we can go on to what else we have. We had the Gwangjang Market.
We had Gwangjang Market.
Namdaemun Market.
Namdaemun Market. We had, what was that thing? We had kalguksu as a group. And this, I always want to bring this up when you said it was not heavy. One, I want to preface, I understand kalguksu is not a heavy dish, right? But we got kalguksu, 2 bottles of soju, makgeolli, dumplings, the rice, extra vegetables on the side. Is that everything we had?
Oh, you're talking about we had that on Thursday night.
On Thursday night.
Oh, when we were in Jamsil. We
Yeah,
were in
Jamsil.
Jamsil. We went to Lotte World, and then afterwards, our buddy said he wanted to go check out this kalguksu restaurant.
Yes.
And yeah, it was like the kalguksu like casserole. They came out in like shabu shabu style, and basically they give you some meat where you do that, and then you put the kalguksu in there, and then after you're done, they turn into fried rice. We had dumplings and everything. How much you guys think that was?
And also 2 bottles of soju, 1 bottle of makgeolli.
Yeah. I feel like in the States, that comes out to like over $100.
Easily.
Over
150.
Yeah, 150 easily. But there, it was like, it came out to like 70,000 won. So
50?
Like $50.
$50, $60 for all of that,
$50
guys.
for 4 people. Huge casserole.
And I was stuffed. Not stuffed. I was satisfied. One thing that we both had was Isaac toast.
I think it's Isaac toast.
Isaac toast and egg drop. The battle of the egg sandwiches in Korea, because if you are out and about, there's a boom about Korean egg sandwiches. So we had to go to the source. We went to the source. Okay, we had egg drop and we had Isaac toast. I'm gonna let you go first.
I had a third one too.
Okay.
I went to like it was like a ajuma running a toast stand.
Okay.
When I went to Daegu, we kind of ran into it and got it. I actually think that was better than the Isaac toast.
There's something that I've realized here. mom and pops are better than chains.
I think that it's just based off of preference too, because like I thought it was better, but some people probably might think Izak toast is better. I liked it better because they put a little cabbage in there, so it was like really really crunchy. I know you said that Izak toast does that too for certain ones. It was better, but not by far. I don't know. All three of them were really really good.
It depends on what you want. Like I think how we both agreed on is okay. Isaac, whatever toast you want, it has sweet corn in the eggs they give you. So, and I think the bread is sweeter.
Yes.
So it's just a sweeter. If you like sweet and savory in a sandwich, you'll love Isaac toast.
Yeah.
If you like just eggs, like eggy goodness, then go to egg drop.
I think that they do the toast as well. Like you can get it on the French toast. So they kind of like have some similarities and some difference. I think that egg drop is more if you like it a little more egg. Egg, like me personally, I love eggs, so I personally like egg drop better. But it's not by far. I think Isaac toast was sensational.
Yeah.
Then the mom that Ajuma stand, that thing was crack city.
And I want to say this when you said about Isaac toast, it's weird because I'm not like a massive fan of sweet and savory, but I like that more because it was sweet and savory. And egg drop, they let you switch the breads to like garlic and French toast, and I got the garlic was fire. But pro tip, do not go to the Isaac toast in Myeongdong. Don't go to them, okay? There's one on the outside of Myeongdong or on Myeongdong Street, and then one side inside Myeongdong Street. Do not go there. Go up the hill toward, I guess it's called Jongno. It's up the hill. I'm sorry, guys. If you're in Seoul, you're going to be walking up hills. I'm sorry. Walk up the hill. There's a little shack on the side of Isaac toast. They're never sold out of all the sandwiches. They give you better food. I don't know why. They're just better. They're tired of people's foreigners BS down in Myeongdong, and up there it just tastes better.
I think you said that the food in Myeongdong is not good.
Yes. Another pro tip. Myeongdong is don't go there for food. Go there for shopping, and that's it. Shopping, get all your skincare stuff out of the way. But even then, people say if you go to Apgujeong or Gangnam, it's better. So if you want just like a mix of everything, a jack of all trades, master of none, Myeongdong. But if you want food, all the best food I had was not in Myeongdong. It was not.
I will have to admit, I think that the food, because I went to Seoul, I was in Daegu, and I was in Busan. I think that my preference, I think the food in Busan and the food in Daegu was better than the food in Seoul. That's just my preference.
Do you think it's because I'm making up a new term right now because of the CPB, the cost per bite?
I don't think it's cost per bite. I think that I don't know what it is, but I think there's the food. But I will say though, there were things in Seoul that I really really liked that were better than food in Busan. I'm just saying overall, I'm not saying that the food is better in Busan or Daegu. I think that's just the food that I ate in those two cities, in comparison to everything I ate in Seoul, they have a slight edge.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Mainly because of that Ambok place. Place is crack.
So excluding that Ambok place, you would still say that you enjoyed the food outside of Seoul a little bit. We're not saying by a lot, just a little bit more.
Yeah. I had galbijin in Daegu. Yo, that thing was absolutely sensational. The way that the meat melts in your mouth. Yeah, just the way that how it just I don't know, just like food in Korea just tastes like a little bit better. I think that if I were to guess, I think that the food in America might be a little more processed, probably more preservatives.
Yeah.
That's what I would guess. I don't know exactly, but that's if I were to guess, I would probably wager something to do with that. But things just they taste so much more like cleaner, lighter, more flavorful. We had Korean barbecue one time in Hongdae. Ayo, you guys tell me. I know when it comes to Korean barbecue, people go crazy over brisket. Okay, people go crazy over brisket. Like people usually like that's like their favorite thing on the. Me personally and my brother personally, we don't like brisket like that. I think brisket is probably one of the least like, probably on the lower end of things that we would order. Pretty sure that me and my brother we would only order brisket when other people around us want brisket. But if it's just us or people we know, we ain't order brisket. Okay.
Guilty.
I don't think brisket's good, but I just prefer other cuts of beef rather than brisket.
Gaibi.
Yes. When we were in Hongdae, and we went to go get Korean barbecue for dinner. Yo, brisket in Korea like tastes different.
Hey, I want to also preface this. We went to a Korean barbecue place that specialized in pork.
Yes.
We didn't
Yes.
get beef.
Yes.
Pork.
Yes. It was a pork specialized Korean barbecue spot. Pork was great.
It was fire. Like Jesse and I, when we're in the States, I don't think we rarely ever get pork. We
Yeah.
get pork belly, like if it's special, but most of the time it's not.
Yes. But yeah, that pork place, that brisket, yo, that's probably one of I think that was my favorite thing that night. It was, I don't know, the flavor was just so like, I can't even explain. Just trust me when I say it tastes different and in a very, very good way.
I think low key, their cuts of brisket were a little thicker.
You think so?
I think, all right, I'm not a pro at this. This is just from what I remember. Also, we were kind of lit, so maybe that had to do with it.
Yes.
But I remember that the brisket was a little bit thicker, and I noticed in the States, the brisket's so thin, it cooks really fast. And that's the reason why people get it.
Okay.
They're hungry, whatever. And so I guess it cooks a little quicker. But to me, it just tastes like crispy. Like when I eat brisket in the States, it just tastes like crispy fat.
Okay.
Because it's so thin, I don't get any like meatiness. But in Seoul, it's more meaty.
Yeah.
It's more meaty.
Okay. Okay, how about this? Out of everything that you ate in Seoul, I mean in Korea, what would you rank as your top 3?
Gosh, that's so hard to pick, man. I have a weird rating scale because I like unique things. So I will say the galbi that we got was fire. It was galbi and squid. So that was amazing. And then other than that, I'm trying to think of everything that we had. It was so much. It was hard to pick. I know we got something. I just forgot what it is. There was like a casserole or something we got. I don't know if it was the kalguksu. That I know it's really dumb, but that pork belly roll was just fire. I don't want to say something was the best, but to me, the galbi kind of sticks out the most because it was the most recent thing I had. But other than that, everything was really solid. Like there was nothing that I ate that I was like, okay, there was one thing that I ate that I was like, okay, this is okay. But everything else was like, this is fire.
Okay. My picks are Ambok, Daejigopbap, Ramen, sensational. Second thing was actually in Busan too. It's called nakgupse. It's not very common in the States.
What is it?
It's not a very common dish here, but it is available here. But apparently they say like, I was told that if you're really Korean, you know what it is. If you don't, you probably don't know what it is. But I saw it a lot in Korea. So it's like a same thing, like the whole traditional, they cook in front of your thing, right? And there's like glass noodles in there. There's octopus. There's entrails. There's shrimp and some other stuff in there. And they just stir fry it. Amazing. And then they give you like a bowl of rice, and you kind of scoop it in there. If I'm wrong, let me know. But this is how I was taught to eat it. And then you scoop it out of after it's cooked. It's kind of like a stewish kind of way. And then you put it into your rice. You mix it up and you eat it. And after you eat that way, then you order more noodles, and then you put it in there because you eat like maybe like 75% of it, and you leave like 25% of it in there. And then you order more noodles, and they turn into a noodle dish, and then you eat that on top of that. Wow, shit was crack. And it was in Busan too, so it's probably like, I think that they say seafood in Busan's better, so maybe that's why it was so good. Third, I would say was, all right, I know what the third is. There is this place in Seoul. I forget what it's called. It starts with a Y. It's on the very, very first, very far left of Seoul, and it's where the Korea's Congress is at.
Okay. Starts with a Y.
Yeah, it starts with a Y. I forget what it is. Like it escapes my mind at the moment, but it's a little tiny little part of Korea. It's on the left hand side, and it's where the Congress is at. They, if anything, it's like almost equivalent to probably like Korea in a financial district, like people in suits, all that stuff. Great, and then was it because the KBS was also there. We went to go see like some crazy, really, really popular show, and that's all the Raven Korea right now, where they bring people like K-pop stars and like Korean idols and all that stuff there to sing, and they have a talk show. It was great. There was a Michelin star restaurant. We went there.
Okay.
They have 1 Michelin star. Okay. I'm not a big advocate for seafood. I think it's okay. You know, I'm not like, I don't go crazy over it. I don't ever like, it's never really my first pick. But we had Michelin star raw marinated crab.
Oh, that's something I did not get to have.
Soy marinated. Oh my God. That joint was, yo, that thing was crazy. Like I would never order that. I would never get that. But, you know, I was kind of dragged along, and I'm glad I got dragged along, because that was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of like squeeze it onto your rice and you eat it. Oh my God, so simple, so clean. Oh my God, it was so good. Probably top 3 things.
That's something that I was wanting to get, but that's something that you can't get by yourself. And so, like, you know, I couldn't really get it by myself. And then, yeah, that's something next time I want to go, I definitely want to try. Actually, there's something that just clicked to my mind. It's an experience for sure. When you mentioned top 3 things I had, I just remembered it. I don't know why I forgot. But in Myeongdong, which is a place in Korea or in Seoul, they have something called Myeongdong Market. We went there. The market was not open at the time, so we pulled up. This area is like really freaking hilly, guys. So I want to preface that, just like the rest of Seoul, but this place is on a hill. It feels like, and so you go into Myeongdong Market, and there is a place like in a corner, and they just sell rotisserie chicken in like these sizzling plates with rice at the bottom. And I guess someone even called it like Hanum style rotisserie chicken, but they just throw it on there. They sizzle it there. The line is there's always a line. There's always people in there. You need a Korean number to sign up for reservation. I managed to go up like, hey, can I come in? He goes, just wait here. And we were able to get in. That was like my number 2, 3 thing I had. Because it was like sizzling. It was hot. There was sticky rice at the bottom. It was sticky but crispy at the same time with the rotisserie chicken. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Myeongdong chicken. But just go into Myeongdong Market. You'll see it. It's always busy there. Just go in there, wait in line, put your number down, go. It's fire. I saw it on TikTok. Not a lot of people hyped it up. I only saw 1 video. So go if you can. Myeongdong Market. You
know, you're talking about hype. I think I saw a TikTok where I was really hyped to go when we were in Namdaemun Market, was the noodle alley, like the hidden noodle alley. Yo, after going there, that noodle alley is not that like. It was kind of like, it is what it is. You know, everybody sold the same thing, and they're being aggressive. Like, hey, my gripe with Korea, okay, this is just my gripe with Korea, is that whenever you go to restaurants, they like kind of like force you to order stuff. Yeah. So like if you go to like a bakery and stuff, you have to order 1 drink. You have to order 1 drink. Or like when we were in that noodle, they're like, okay, you sat down. It was like 3 of us. They were like, you have to order 2 minimum dishes or 2 minimum sets. I'm like, dude, like, why do we have to order food? Yeah. There were so many times where like I would go there to get something so simple, like you have to get this, you have to get this, or like particularly like cafes. We can go into that right now. We'll go into cafes right now, and so many times. Yo, we were going. I just want a pastry, you know. Something I'm trying to hit like 4 or 5 cafes. You know, I can't drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee. I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah. When they're like, no, you have to order a cup of coffee. You have to order this. I'm like, why do I have to order this? And there was one time, in our group, they said you have to order. I said, dude, just tell them no. And it got to the point like, you know, I'm not being forced to buy something I don't want to buy. Exactly,
and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I understand why they do it. But it's annoying.
It's annoying
because like I went to a cafe by myself, ordered 3 pastries. Yeah, 3 pastries. And I was like, I'm gonna go sit. I ordered 3 pastries. They're like, oh, do you want to eat in here? I'm like, yeah. They're, oh, you have to order something to drink. I'm like, bro, I got 3 pastries. Exactly. Like, this should show you that I am willing to sit down here. I was like, why can't you have like a spending limit? Oh, you have to spend 10,000 won. Like, do that. Not you have to get a drink.
Exactly.
I don't know. I agree with you. That's my solo gripe as well. Like, like it should be a spending limit, not a drink limit or a food limit.
Yeah, like it's the fact that they force you to buy something is kind of like whatever.
I think this goes for my experience in Japan as well as my experience in Korea. the most hyped up places that you go to, I don't want to say will disappoint you, but will disappoint you unless you want the food there. I think you should just go to the places with low expectations and just, if you want kalguksu, go there for the kalguksu, not because you saw it on TikTok and 50 other people thought they liked it. Go because you want that food. That's my experience with all the places I went to.
Okay. My final take is I think that this is just my hypothesis. I don't know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Maybe for somebody who's more well versed in this type of thing can tell me. I think that the reason why Korean food, and my brothers, I love Korean, my favorite thing. The reason why I think Korean food in America tastes so different, and it kind of like sometimes it just puts me in my ass, you know, like after I just don't do nothing compared to in Korea where I felt like so good after I eat. Like I never got to that point where I like so lethargic. It's because from what I told, I think Koreans don't use MSG as much. You know, I think that in the United States they probably use a little bit more MSG. So someone can fact check me on that if they want and tell me whether that is a thing, if my hypothesis is correct. But that's what I think it is.
Because I just want to let everyone know out there, MSG gives y'all the itis. I don't know if y'all know what the itis is, but MSG gives you the itis, which is when you eat and you just want to sit down and sleep and do nothing.
Yeah. That's just my hypothesis. I think it's the MSG, and I think it's also ingredients. I think the ingredients might be a little bit better in not only just Korea, but in like countries outside the US. I think it's because there's higher regulation and stuff like that. But anyways, hope you enjoy that. When you go to Korea, the food is absolutely amazing. Go get you some. You'll love it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.